Imagine waking up in the morning with heavy thoughts, feeling drained before the day even begins. Many of us roll out of bed, reach for our phones, and scroll endlessly, only to find our minds flooded with worries, comparisons, and distractions. That first hour sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start in stress, your day continues in stress. But if you start in prayer, your day shifts into peace, clarity, and strength. This is why prayer in the morning is not just a religious habit, it is a spiritual strategy. Prayer is like planting seeds into your day. Thoughts you nurture, the gratitude you express, and the declarations you speak in the first moments of your morning create ripple effects that last through the evening. The problem is that most of us underestimate how powerful those first moments are. We assume that prayer is optional, something we do when we have extra time. But in reality, it is the lifeline that carries us through challenges, temptations, and unexpected battles. Today, I want to walk you through a guided morning prayer too. Change your day not just to inspire you, but to equip you with words, mindset, faith that will reframe every situation you face. We'll break this prayer into 10 powerful sections, each with a purpose. So you don't just listen, you step into a rhythm that transforms your morning. Stay with me for the full journey. By the end of this, you'll discover that your mornings no longer need to feel rushed, chaotic, or meaningless. Instead, they can become a sacred launch pad into peace, strength, and breakthrough. The first key to a morning prayer that changes your day is gratitude. Before we ask God for anything, we must acknowledge what He's already done. Gratitude opens the door to His presence and reminds us that we are already blessed. The problem is that many mornings begin with complaints. I didn't sleep enough. I don't want to go to work. I'm stressed about what's coming. Complaints make the day feel heavy before it even begins. Gratitude, however, shifts your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's lacking, you start recognizing what's already abundant. So here's a prayer of thanksgiving to begin with. Father, I thank you for this new day. Thank you for the gift of life, for breath in my lungs, for the roof over my head, and for the food I will eat today. Thank you for health, for strength, and for opportunities that are waiting for me. Thank you for family, for friends, and even for challenges that shape me. I choose to see this day not as a burden, but as a blessing. When you speak words of gratitude, your heart softens. You begin to feel lighter. Even science confirms this: grateful thoughts rewire your brain, reduce stress, and increase joy. Gratitude is not just a spiritual command. It is a proven key to happiness. So every morning, before you rush into tasks, pause and thank God. Even if life feels overwhelming, find at least 3 things to be thankful for. You'll notice a shift. Problems don't look as big, and blessings appear much clearer. Gratitude is the doorway. Once you walk through it, your morning shifts from stress into peace. After gratitude comes surrender. One of the greatest sources of stress is trying to control everything. We wake up with long to-do lists, expectations from others, and pressures we can't manage. But the truth is, no matter how much we plan, we don't control the outcome. The problem is that we live as if everything depends on us. We carry burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. That's why so many people start the day already anxious. They are trying to handle in their own strength what only God can handle in His. Here's a prayer of surrender. Lord, today I release control into your hands. I surrender my plans, my worries, my fears, and even my successes. I acknowledge that you are God and I am not. Lead me, guide me, and align my heart with your will. I trust that whatever comes my way, you have already gone before me. I lay my burdens at your feet, and I choose rest in you. Surrender is not weakness, it's strength. It means acknowledging that God is greater than your schedule, your boss, your deadlines, and even your struggles. When you let go, you make room for God's power to work. Think about it. If you start your day surrendered, you will face challenges differently. Instead of panicking, you'll remember you've already placed the day in God's hands. Instead of forcing outcomes, you'll walk with peace, knowing that God's timing is perfect. The greatest freedom is not in control, but in release. When you surrender your day, you gain peace of mind, clarity of purpose, and strength for the journey ahead. Another vital part of morning prayer is asking for protection. Every day we step into a world filled with unseen dangers, temptations, and spiritual battles. It's not just about safety on the road or health in our bodies, it's also about guarding our hearts and minds. The problem is that many people walk through their day spiritually unprotected. Just like you wouldn't leave your house without locking the doors, you shouldn't begin your day without asking God to cover you. Here's a prayer of protection. Father, I ask for your protection today. Cover me with your presence. Keep me safe from harm, from accidents, and from sickness. Guard my mind from negative thoughts, fear, and temptation. Place a hedge of protection around my family, my work, and everything I touch today. Declare that no weapon formed against me will prosper, and every plan of the enemy will be stopped in Jesus' name. Protection is more than physical, it is emotional and spiritual. God can protect you from discouragement, from toxic environments, and even from making decisions that could harm your future. When you pray for protection, you are acknowledging that life is unpredictable, but God is faithful. You are declaring that His power is stronger than any obstacle or attack. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it does mean you won't face them alone. You'll walk through your day with confidence, knowing you are covered. Prayer is your armor. Each morning, put it on. With protection spoken over your day, you can walk forward with courage, strength, and unshakable peace. Every morning we wake up with varying levels of energy. Some days we feel ready to conquer the world, and other days we feel drained before the day begins. That's why we must pray for strength, just physical strength, but emotional and spiritual renewal. The problem is that too many of us run on empty. We depend on caffeine, motivation, or sheer willpower to get through. But those sources quickly run out. True strength comes only from God. He promises that when we are weak, His strength is made perfect. Here's a prayer for strength. Lord, today I ask for your strength. Fill me with energy, focus, and endurance. Give me the ability to handle responsibilities with grace. When I feel weak, remind me that you are strong within me. Strengthen my faith, my patience, and my spirit, so I can face whatever comes with courage and peace. Strength is not just about getting through the DITs, about thriving in it. When God strengthens you, you don't just survive challenges, you overcome them. Find yourself calmer in stressful situations, wiser in hard decisions, and more resilient when things don't go as planned. Think of it like this. If you try to pour from an empty cup, you quickly run out. But if you ask God to fill your cup each morning, you'll have more than enough for yourself and for those around. So never rush into your day without asking for strength. It is the fuel that keeps your mind sharp, your heart steady, and your spirit unshaken. Another essential part of morning prayer is asking for guidance. Every day brings choices, some big, some small, but all of them shape the direction of our lives. Without guidance, we risk making decisions that lead to regret, frustration, or wasted time. The problem is that we often rely on our own understanding. We think we know what's best, only to later realize we missed the bigger picture. God sees what we cannot. He knows the paths that lead to peace and the ones that lead to destruction. That's why we need His direction. Here's a prayer for guidance. Father, I ask for your wisdom today. Guide my thoughts, my words, and my decisions. Show me the right opportunities and protect me from wrong ones. Let your Spirit lead me in conversations, in choices, and in moments where I don't know what to do. Help me to walk not in confusion, but in clarity. Direct my steps so that everything I do honors you. When you pray for guidance, you invite God into your decision-making. You open the door for divine nudges, for unexpected clarity, and for peace when making hard choices. Guidance also protects you from regret. Instead of rushing into things, you pause, listen, and move with God's timing. Imagine how much lighter your day feels when you know you are not walking blindly, you're being led. So before you dive into emails, meetings, or daily tasks, ask for guidance. Trust that even in small details like conversations or errands, God can lead you. The result? Less stress, more peace, and greater confidence in your steps. Another important aspect of prayer is asking for provision. Each day brings needs, financial, emotional, or relational. God is not just interested in your soul. He cares about your everyday life. The problem is that many people live in constant worry about provision. Bills, job security, unexpected expenses, and financial stress weigh heavily. This creates anxiety that robs peace before the day even begins. But when you pray for provision, you place your trust in the one who owns it all. Here's a prayer for provision. Lord, today I trust you to meet my needs. You are my provider. I thank you for the resources, opportunities, and blessings that will come my way. Help me to be a good steward of what I already have. I release worry about finances, about lack, and about uncertainty. I trust that you will provide daily bread, everything I need, not just for survival, but for a life of peace and abundance. Provision is not always about receiving more. It's often about seeing how much you already have. When you invite God into this area, He brings creativity, discipline, and wisdom in how to manage what you've been given. Instead of stressing about lack, prayer shifts your mindset to trust. Instead of hoarding or panicking, you learn to rest. In God's faithfulness, when you begin your day with prayer for provision, you remind yourself, you are not your provider, God is. And when you place your needs in His hands, you live with less fear and more confidence. Every morning is another chance to live with purpose. Too many people drift through the day reacting instead of living intentionally, without a sense of purpose. The day feels empty, no matter how busy it is. The problem is that distractions pull us in 100 directions. Social media demands from others, and constant busyness can make us feel like we're doing a lot while accomplishing very little. Purpose realigns us with what truly matters. Here's a prayer for purpose. Father, remind me today why I am here. Show me how I can be a light in someone's darkness. Remind me to use my gifts, my words, and my time wisely. Let me walk not just in routine, but in calling. Give me clarity on what matters most and help me say no to what distracts me. I want this day to count not just for me, but for your glory. When you pray for purpose, you invite focus into your day. You stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Every task, no matter how small, becomes meaningful because you approach it with the mindset of service and impact. Purpose also helps you endure challenges. When you know the why behind your actions, difficulties no longer break you. They shape you. Instead of feeling lost, you feel anchored. So don't just wake up to exist, wake up to live. Ask God to show you your purpose for today. You'll find more fulfillment, more joy, and a deeper sense that your day truly matters. A day without joy is a heavy day. Joy is not the same as happiness. It's deeper, unshakable, and not dependent on circumstances. Morning prayer should always include an invitation for joy. The problem is that many people start their day in worry. They rehearse yesterday's mistakes, today's pressures, and tomorrow's fears. Worry steals joy before the day even begins. But when you choose joy in the morning, you set your spirit on a higher frequency than fear and negativity. Here's a prayer for joy. Lord, fill my heart with joy today. Remind me that your joy is my strength. Let laughter replace heaviness and peace replace worry. Help me to focus on what is good, noble, and pure. No matter what comes, I choose joy because I know you are with me and for me. Joy is contagious. When you carry joy, you not only uplift yourself, but also those around you. Imagine walking into work or school with a heart full of peace and joy. You instantly shift the atmosphere. Joy also sustains you. It gives you resilience when problems arise. It doesn't mean you ignore difficulties. It means you face them with a light that darkness cannot put out. Each morning, ask God for joy. Smile, even before you feel like it. Speak life over your day. The result: a lighter heart, a brighter perspective, and the ability to see God's goodness in every moment. Joy is not optional, it's essential. Choose it daily. The final part of a morning prayer that changes your day is declaration. Words are powerful. What you speak shapes what you experience. That's why you must end your morning prayer by declaring life, victory, and blessing over your day. The problem is that too many people wake up and speak negativity. I'm so tired. Today's going to be terrible. I can't handle this. Words like these create a mindset of defeat before the day even begins. Here's a declaration prayer. Today, I declare that I am strong, focused, and filled with peace. I declare that I will overcome challenges and walk in victory. I declare that I am blessed, favored, and guided by God's wisdom. I declare that joy will follow me, peace will sustain me, and love will flow through me. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Declarations shift the atmosphere. When you speak life, you align your words with God's promises. You begin to see possibilities where others see obstacles. So each morning, take a moment to speak over your day. Don't wait for circumstances to dictate your mindset. Decide it yourself. Your words are seeds. Plant them wisely. When you end your morning in declaration, you step into the day with boldness, clarity, and faith. Whatever comes, you are ready, because you have already spoken victory over it. This is how you change your day, not by chance, but by choice. Start with prayer and let your words lead your path. Now that you've prayed through gratitude, surrender, protection, strength, guidance, provision, purpose, joy, and declaration, you've laid a foundation for a day of peace, focus, and blessing. Don't just listen. Make this your habit. Every morning, choose prayer. Because when you change your mornings, you change your days. And when you change your days, you change your life.